Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to make André Lerat's Gratin dauphinois from the center of France. First I'll present to you the ingredients which we need to make this dish. We need obviously potatoes. We're going to slice them into pieces with a mandolin. We're going to need some olive oil, some laurel, some cloves and nutmeg, some garlic, salt and pepper of course, and some flour. It's important to remember that we're going to have two phases in the way the gratin is cooked. We're going to have a first phase which is going to be a percolation phase. It's basically going to be the bottom of the gratin. We're not going to put any flour in it so that the potatoes are able to absorb the vapors coming from the bottom. And the second phase on top will be the crispy phase. We're going to put flour on it, and it will give the gratin its crispy feel, which distinguishes it from other dishes.
Okay, en espagnol maintenant.
Hola, buenas tardes. Hoy vamos a hacer gratin dauphinois. Para realizar esta receta vamos a necesitar papas, aceite de olivo, laurel, ajo, nutmeg, cloves de clove de girofle, harina, sal y pimienta, claro. Van a haber dos fases en este plato. Vamos a tener una fase de percolación abajo, donde el gratin se va a cocinar sin harina para que la papa pueda absorber los sabores, y la parte de arriba va a tener harina para que sea para que sea más duro el gratin. Y eso es todo lo que necesitas. Ahora les voy a enseñar cómo hacer el gratin dauphinois.
C'est parti.
Okay, so let's get started. First we're going to put 3 tablespoons of olive oil into the container. We've already done that to save some time. Then we're going to add exactly 1 layer of chopped potatoes to the bottom of it. It's important to remember not to add any spices before you add the potatoes, because the bottom layer will be the hottest when it's cooking in the oven, and the spices risk being damaged if we don't protect them with a layer of potatoes. So ahora en español. Ya acabamos de empezar. Pusimos 3 cucharadas de aceite de olivo abajo del traste. Vamos a poner una primera capa de papas cortadas para que cubra la parte baja del traste. Es importante no poner nada de especies en la primera parte sí, en la primera capa, porque las papas van a proteger a las especias del calor. Entonces vamos a poner una capa de cloves, el laurel y sal y pimienta. Okay, so we've cut up our first layer of potatoes using the mandolin. Now we're going to add the spices, so it has some flavor. Entonces ya tenemos la primera capa de papas hecha, que cortamos con el mandolín. Ahora vamos a poner la primera capa de especies para que tenga un sabor. So, we just added the garlic. We put in, I calculate, about 5 tablespoons. What's important is to note that we put in a lot of it, and that the garlic was in powder. It's easier to treat, it's easier to spread evenly around the dish than if we were to get traditional garlic cloves. Y ya le metimos el ajo. Calculo que metimos unas 5 cucharadas, es bastante. Lo que es importante es remarcar que el ajo está en polvo, porque es más fácil desparramarlo dentro del plato que si usamos un ajo tradicional. So, next we add the laurel leaves. These are smaller laurel leaves than you find elsewhere. What's important is to cut the base off, because it contains a lot of silicon and it can be harmful to one's health. So you'll note the difference between a cut leaf and a entire leaf. This is about how much you have to put on, just a few leaves to give it some flavor. Y ahora en español ya le metimos el laurier. Lo importante es de cortar la base de la hoja, porque contiene mucho silicio y puede ser malo para la salud. Y eso es el... Okay, so now using this handy device, we're able to shave some nutmeg into the mix. We added some salt and pepper. The measurements were 3/4 of a nutmeg seed. Voila. And we added cloves as well. We added 6 of them only because they're quite strong. It's these guys right here. They're quite small, but they're very strong, so it's important not to add too much. Ahora rapamos nuez de muscá adentro, 3/4 de una nuez. Metimos sal y pimienta y cloves. Le metimos unos clavos. Metimos unos 5 o 6 clavos porque tienen un sabor muy fuerte, entonces es importante no meter mucho. Voilà. Well, now that we've seasoned the first layer, it's time to start adding more potatoes to make some more layers. For this we use the mandolin, as I stated before. It's a handy device that allows us to cut potatoes quickly and efficiently into flat slices, which is what we need for a gratin. Ya terminamos la primera capa, le metimos las especias, la sal y la pimienta. Y ahora tenemos que poner más capas de papas. Para cortar las papas planas de esta manera usamos este aparato que se llama un mandolín, y es una manera muy rápida de cortarlas de esta manera. Y ahora le vamos a meter el aceite. Okay, so we've finished slicing our potatoes. Now what we're going to do is add the cream to add some fat into it. It's important not to wash the potatoes because it's the fat from the fatty acids from the cream that'll interact with the starch in the potatoes, which have just been cut. That's going to give it its signature gratin dauphinois taste. So that's an important secret to remember. Ya terminamos de cortar las patatas en capas. Ahora le vamos a meter crema y vamos a dejar que se mojen con las papas para que el almidón dentro de las papas pueda interactuar con la grasa de la crema. Como las acabamos de cortar, es importante no lavarlas para que no se lave el almidón que tiene por de fuera. Entonces ya vamos a meter la crema. Es importante desparramarlo por todos lados. It's important to spread it evenly everywhere so that each potato gets its fair fill of cream and therefore fat. Remember that this is 15% cream we're using, not 30%. It's important to give it the perfect consistency.
20 centiliters.
And it's 20 centiliters, 200 milliliters, whatever you want to call it. That's the perfect amount. Es importante remarcar que es de 15% esta crema y son 200 mililitros. Es la cantidad perfecta para llenar este contenedor de gratin dauphinois. Okay, so now we're going to add the water, some water to make the cream a bit lighter. We're gonna not add it directly onto the potatoes as we did for the cream, because it's important that the potatoes don't wash themselves, so that the interaction between the starch and the fats is realized. So we add it just gently to the side, like this, until it reaches halfway, until the container is halfway full, and then we'll have our perfect amount. Ahora vamos a meter el agua para cortar la crema. Es importante meterla por del lado, porque si no se lavan las papas y la interacción entre el almidón y la grasa no se va a hacer. Lo tenemos que llenar hasta que llegue hasta la mitad del contenedor el líquido. Como vemos. Okay, after having added the water, we're going to start the primary cooking phase. We're going to set the oven at 210 degrees, and we're going to put the gratin in there for 30 to 40 minutes. Después de haber metido la crema y el agua, vamos a meter el gratin dentro del horno a 210 grados durante 40-30 minutos. Entonces, es importante que esté más cerca la charola a la parte baja del horno para que se caliente más la parte de abajo la parte baja del gratin y que suba el vapor y dé sabor al gratin entero. It is important that the tray be closer to the bottom of the oven so that the bottom of the container heats more rapidly on the top. That way the vapor rises from the bottom and the potatoes on top are able to absorb the flavor, since they're not swimming in the sauce. So, now that the gratin is in the oven, we're making the sauce so it will be crispy on the top. We're going to add it during the second cooking phase. It consists of 1 large spoonful of olive oil, half or about 10 centiliters of light cream, and we lightened it down with some water so that we could get this consistency that you see here. It's just a little bit, it's about the same consistency as a cream since we added flour. Ahora estamos empezando, vamos a hacer la salsa para que quede duro el gratin en la parte de arriba. Para hacer esta salsa se va a necesitar una cucharada grande de aceite, 10 centilitros de crema y unas dos cucharadas de harina, y luego lo vamos a alejar con agua. Lo vamos a cortar con agua para que quede con esta consistencia que vemos aquí. Es importante deshacernos de todos los pedazos de harina que se pegan unos contra los otros para que sea un líquido uniforme. Okay, so after 40 minutes we see that the liquid at the bottom is risen to the top. It's starting to percolate, and the potatoes on top are absorbing the flavor and getting crispy, as we can see. Después de 40-30 minutos el líquido de abajo empieza a subir, a montar, y las patatas de arriba están absorbiendo el sabor, como vemos aquí con esta reacción. Ahora vamos a meterle el líquido que hicimos después para que la parte de arriba se haga dura. Now we're going to add the liquid that we previously made so that the top is crispy.
Bon.
Oui.
Tu l'as dit en espagnol?
Oui. Okay, so we're done cooking. Here we are. This is the gratin, the beautiful gratin we've made. After having added the final sauce, you see how it took a crispy texture on the uppermost part. It's important that it look like this. You can accompany it with a nice red or a nice beef. Y ahora en español, ya lo hemos terminado. Se ve como está duro en la capa de arriba, gracias a la salsa que le pusimos al fin. Lo puede acompañar con un vino rojo, o con la carne, para que esté perfecto.